The last installment of the 2011 Formula Drift year ends here at the House of Drift in Irwindale, California. Daijiro Yoshihara has already claimed $10,000 by winning the Tires.com Triple Crown, but has been taken out of the competition. But he could still win the championship if Justin Pawlak gets knocked out before the Final Four. Let's not forget the win here at the House of Drift is still up for grabs as well. This is going to be a fight until the end, and we'll see who's going to be the last driver standing right here on Formula Drift.
Hello Formula Drift fans, and welcome to the final fight, round 7 of 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We are here at the House of Drift in Irwindale, California. My name is Jared Dienda. Under the lights, we're going to find out who reigns supreme and who holds up that carbon fiber trophy. But more importantly, our overall 2011 champion will be crowned. Dai Yoshihara, JTP, or Darren McNamara. Who is it going to be? But before we do that, let's go and throw it over to Ryan Sage, who's with some of the most important people here in the paddock, and yet some of the most beautiful.
All right, thanks, Jared. I'm out here hanging out the Hankook rig with the Hankook umbrella models. You guys see them out on the track shading Chris Forsberg and the other Hankook drivers. What else do they do? We're here to get a little bit of a word. So what are you guys doing here on the FD weekends?
Well, we're here to represent the company and make Hankook look great. So we're really here to interact with our fans, sign autographs, give away posters and goodies, and just make this experience really great for them.
So you meet a lot of people. There's probably some pickup lines. What's the worst one you've heard here?
Probably, is your dad a baker? Because you got nice buns.
And what would be the best pickup line?
I can't top that. Cannot top that one.
Well, there you go. A little lighthearted fun here in the paddock at the Hankook rig. But now it is time to get on track for the Great 8.
Formula Drift is a judge sport, much like freestyle motocross or skateboarding. Competitions start out with individual cars competing in qualifying runs, in which each car is judged by a panel of 3 judges, using 4 criteria: speed, angle, line, and style. Based on how each driver qualifies will determine the driver matchups in the main part of the competition. The head-to-head battles, sometimes known as tandem battles, in which all the qualifying criteria is thrown out the window. Each driver gets a chance to lead a lap as both drivers are going all out to outdo, outmaneuver, and overall show dominance in the battle. After the 2 laps, the judges will award a winner based on a majority vote. If there is no majority, then the drivers will battle it out again, one more time, until a winner is announced.
Well, in our last episode, you saw the top 16, and now we've narrowed it down to the Great 8. Tonight, you will officially have a brand new 2011 Formula Drift champion.
And obviously the biggest story is that name of Daijiro Yoshihara is not in the lineup. He is sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what happens with Justin Pawlak and Darren McNamara, and now Chris Forsberg, who's taking on Robbie Nishida.
Well, Chris Forsberg mathematically is still in the championship contention. Here we go. Robbie Nishida initiated into the bank as Chris Forsberg gives chase.
72.4 miles per hour is Robbie Nishida. Look at Chris Forsberg, a slightly lower line proximity now closing in as they cross that first inside clipping point.
Bushido blade cutting through the competition. Oh, look at Forsberg. Yeah, you just called a little woo is necessary as Nishida tightens up on that front clip and Forsberg right on the back bumper of the S13.
Forsberg now has him in his sights, crossing back around and whoa, hello, what's going on here? Chris Forsberg, that was a weird transition right there. It was like he came in and cut his line off. Whoa, Forsberg hits Robbie Nishida and then destroys his front bumper. What's going on here?
It's just getting wacky around here, and the fans are loving it. I'm loving it. Look at this. Yeah, there you see Robbie Nishida kind of transitions around. Forsberg says go ahead. It just got ugly, and then it's the bumper tap. I think they both just got off throttle there at the same time. Here we go. Forsberg's going to lead, sans that front bumper, and Nishida's going to get chased.
So I see that as a big mistake by Chris Forsberg. Robbie Nishida might be able to capitalize here. 77.9 miles per hour is Chris Forsberg.
Good angle by Forsberg. Nishida looming in the Hankook tire smoke. Great job by Nishida, but now some separation here in the inner part of the bank.
Now Nishida having a little bit of trouble behind Chris Forsberg as they come on the inside line right here. Nice job by Chris Forsberg on that inside clipping point.
And Nishida, his front bumper's underneath his front tires, which, and as I said it, There you have it. He skids on his front bumper, goes off course, and Forsberg passes the finish line.
So Robbie Nishida takes himself out. Chris Forsberg wins via front bumper. You can see right here, Robbie Nishida, the front bumper gets underneath the tire, no traction, and spins out. What a misfortune for Robbie Nishida.
And let's make it official, Chris Forsberg gets the win.
The Formula Drift Championship is brought to you by NOS, the official energy drink of Formula Drift, Nitto Tire, and by Need for Speed's new blockbuster, The Run.
Welcome back to the House of Drift, a star-studded evening, and we will have a 2011 Formula Drift champion. Let's move on to our next battle, the Battle of the Bulls. Ryan Hampshire Tuerck in the Chevrolet Camaro going against Reese Medskills Millan in that Hyundai like Sunday Genesis Coupe.
And Reese Millan driving with so much confidence. There are whispers of rumors that this will be his last year, and he may want to go out with a bang. So here we go, Ryan Tuerck and Reese Millan.
This should be a good battle. Ryan Tuerck thrown in, and Reese Medskills Millan looking fluid, but way back there.
75.1 miles per hour, maybe a little bit of strategy right now as Reese Millan reels in Ryan Tuerck, transitions off the bank. Nice job on that inside clipping point is Ryan Tuerck.
Good transition by Tuerck. Millan now bringing him on in here, nice and tight on that front clip. Boom, right there.
There you go, Reese Millan now closing the door against Ryan Tuerck. Nice job in the chase position. Ryan Tuerck going a little bit wide right there. Now coming on the inside, perfect job on that inside clipping point.
Millan is on his game. Every move Tuerck makes, Millan is just right there up in his business.
You can see right here, Reese Millan comes off the bank, really starts to close down on the proximity, and then on the inside addition of the course, you can see right here, Reese Millan again closing the door. Ryan Tuerck now will try to chase down Reese Millan as Reese Millan leads.
Millan looking fluid. Let's see if Tuerck can lay down some pressure. Oh, look at that little lunging forward there from Tuerck. 74.4 miles per hour from Millan.
Puts Tuerck a little bit offline, but he goes right back up as we transition back around off to this inside clipping point. Now Reese Millan and Ryan Tuerck coming. Whoa, a lot of angle right there. Something happened. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or just a weird transition. Reese Millan now out front by 3 car lengths.
A lot of angle and scrubbed a lot of speed, and that created separation there as Millan just putting his car in all the right places as Tuerck, he's playing catch up here in the latter part of the track.
So I thought Ryan Tuerck did a really good job in the lead position on that run. Reese Millan had some high points as well in the chase. But on this run, Reese Millan more or less kind of runs away with it, and Ryan Tuerck hurts himself by transitioning too hard with too much angle.
And making it official, Reese Medskills Millan gets the win.
If there's 2 Hyundais out here, you want to be the best one. If there's 2 athletes under the same brand, such as Red Bull, Ryan and myself, you want to be the best one. So that was a little bit of personal pride. Now we'll go for the rest of the sponsors.
An all too important battle, and this battle will go down in history. I'm telling you right now, JTP, Justin Pawlak, going against Darren McNamara. Tell him why it's so important, Ryan.
Whoever wins this battle will probably win the championship. JTP needs to win it. Darren McNamara needs to win it. Chris Forsberg is looming out there, and Daijiro Yoshihara has no idea what's going on. Here we go, Darren McNamara take the lead.
Darren McNamara throwing in 78.6 miles per hour, nice and high on the bank, scrubbing that wall, and JTP reeling him in.
A little bit low as JTP, but good proximity. This is a great battle so far, transitioning back around to the outside wall. JTP close to, oh, and JTP hits the wall! JTP hits the wall and goes offline. Listen to this crowd. People are freaking out, Jared.
I'm speechless. Justin Pawlak slams into the wall and could potentially slam his way out of a championship contention. Unbelievable.
JTP puts himself in a tough position right here. So far, so good on the bank right here. Comes off the bank, then on the inside wall, taps it, goes offline, and Darren McNamara is out ahead. Now Justin Pawlak has somehow got to redeem himself. How is that going to happen? I have no idea.
JTP basically needs Darren McNamara to crash, but you know what? I've seen Darren McNamara, Mr. Consistency, 72.6 miles per hour from JTP as the leading. He knows he needs to apply some pressure here.
Looks like Darren McNamara is playing it a little bit conservative, now reeling it in right in front of the judges, but he's at such a disadvantage as Justin Pawlak. Flashbulbs going off all over the track. This might be championship hopes down the drain for Justin Pawlak if Darren McNamara wins.
I mean, mathematically, if Justin Pawlak won, he would have been Formula Drift champion, and it looks like it has gone away from Justin Pawlak.
So you can see right here, Darren McNamara closing the door a little bit on the inside bank, knowing he's got a huge advantage. No mistakes out front for JTP, but man, what a disappointment.
Justin Pawlak had an opportunity and he lost it. Darren McNamara gets the win.
I'm still in the zone. I gotta go top 4. I gotta win the top 4. I gotta go to the final. But I got to win the top 4 first, so there's no easy battle. So I just got to concentrate on what we have to do next, and just try and get this thing done.
So with that, Darren McNamara could possibly be your champion. Justin Pawlak has virtually eliminated himself, but look at this guy, Tyler McQuarry, been on fire all night, taking on Ken Gushi, who took out Daijiro Yoshihara.
And Dai Yoshihara is just watching on the sidelines, letting all this unfold as Tyler McQuarry, look at this, jamming past Ken Gushi. Kind of weird start there.
Looked like Ken Gushi was waiting for him, and Tyler blew right by 75.7 miles per hour. Now Ken Gushi on the throttle trying to catch up to Tyler McQuarry.
Tyler McQuarry just ripping through. The Mac attack is on. We talked about our number 3 qualifier and evidence right now on track.
Here we go on the inside bank, coming into the extension part of the course. Ken Gushi coming back around, but way, way behind Tyler McQuarry. That part on the start line right there really affecting him, and Tyler McQuarry crosses the finish line.
Well, right from the beginning, it looked like Ken Gushi was off his game. Got to chalk it up to miscommunication. Ken Gushi kind of pauses, waits for Tyler, and Tyler just blasts right past him, and he didn't stop until he crossed that finish line. So a bit of a disadvantage for Gushi. Let's chalk it up to miscommunication. They're now going to switch it up as Gushi's going to lead. Tyler McQuarry's going to give chase.
So here we come down the front straight. Gushi coming into the first corner, trying to transition early. Nice job right there, but Tyler McQuarry right there, 77.6 miles per hour.
Gushi dropping down on the bank, one of the few 4-cylinder turbos in the grid. Great transition. Tyler McQuarry is just right there on his back bumper.
Nice proximity by Tyler McQuarry. Very aggressive driving. We've been talking about that all night. Ken Gushi with great angle on line, but Tyler McQuarry on his game.
The Mac attack, the baby farm, the rock, Tyler McQuarry, whatever you want to call him, he is on his game tonight.
Now a little bit shallow right there by Tyler McQuarry, but such a huge advantage on the first run. I can't see the judges going any other way. Nice job by Tyler McQuarry.
Well, Ken Gushi laid it all out, but Tyler McQuarry was just up in his smoke as we make our way to the judges' stand and find out who's advancing to the Final 4. And there you have it. Tyler the Rock McQuarry is in the Final 4.
Something happened with his motor or something, because he wasn't accelerating, so I had to slow down, and we were going pretty slow actually going to the bank. But I was able to stick with him. He has a lot of smoke on that thing. It's nuts falling that thing. So kind of just closed my eyes and opened it, and there it was. But bogged down a little bit coming off the inner bank, and that was my little mistake. And so I knew that's kind of what they were weighing, was that mistake compared to his. But it looks like we got the win, and we're moving on to Final 4.
Welcome back, Formula Drift fans. The Final 4 stage is set. Reese Matskills Millan going against Chris the Force Forsberg.
And Chris Forsberg is still mathematically in the hunt for the championship. If he beats Reese Millan and wins the event, he could be your 2011 Formula Drift champion.
Well, both these guys former champions. Chris Forsberg with the opportunity here, but Millan is just looking all too smooth, 76.1 miles per hour.
Nice and high on the bank by both competitors. A slight gap being established from Reese Millan and Chris Forsberg. Reese Millan doing a great job in tuning that car so fast, but now the surge by Chris Forsberg.
Hand-cooked tire smoke all over the track. Nice is Reese Millan. Chris Forsberg trying to reel him in here.
Chris Forsberg coming a little bit on the inside right there and making a slight mistake as he, straightening out as Chris Forsberg losing his way right there, and Reese Millan crosses the finish line very strong.
Right from the start, Millan poured it on great and smooth like he's been all day as Chris Forsberg made that all too critical straightening. Just a small error that the judges picked up on, a slight advantage to Millan as Chris Forsberg gonna lead.
So who's it gonna be moving into the final rounds, Chris Forsberg or Reese Millan, as we transition into the big bank?
78 miles per hour from Forsberg, and Millan, look at that, reeling him in, tapping the brakes. A little deeper anger from Forsberg, but Millan is just right there.
Millan all over the proximity. Forsberg transitioning onto the inside bank, and right there is Reese Millan. Tons of smoke on track, and now Reese Millan trying to close the door.
These guys, oh man, unbelievable battle. Look at this dogfight as Reese Millan just barely navigates past Chris Forsberg's back bumper. Great battle here.
Almost looked like Forsberg went a little bit offline. Reese Millan trying to hold up, not to hit Chris Forsberg. But look at this, the proximity on the bank. Unbelievable move right there by Reese Millan.
Those hand-cooked tires, some of the smokiest in the business, and Millan just looking smooth like butter. Let's go to the judges. Reese Matskills Millan moves on to the finals.
So Forsberg is mathematically eliminated from the championship, but right now the championship is held up in this battle. Darren McNamara and Tyler McQuarry. If Darren McNamara beats Tyler McQuarry and goes on to win the event, he will be your champion. If Tyler McQuarry beats Darren McNamara, guess what? Daijiro Yoshihara comes back and is your champion. Here we go.
So Dai Yoshihara watching from the sidelines as Tyler McQuarry throws it in 78.6 miles per hour as Darren McNamara navigates through that Falcon tire smoke.
Darren McNamara made a little mistake on the big bank right there. Now he's trying to catch up. Tyler McQuarry is on fire this round, way out front and transitioning onto the inside. Nice job, and look at right now, Darren McNamara finally closing the door.
Solid like a rock as Tyler McQuarry wraps around that last front clip and approaches the finish line. Darren McNamara reeling him in, but quite a bit of distance between both cars.
Just as you think Darren McNamara is reeling in Tyler McQuarry surges forward. Just when you think Darren McNamara is bringing on the angle, Tyler McQuarry brings on more angle. Unbelievable run by Team McHugh.
So Darren McNamara is going to lead. Tyler McQuarry is going to give chase. Dai Yoshihara is watching from the wings. Is he our 2011 champion, or Darren McNamara going to rain on his parade? 74.4 miles per hour as D-Mac leads.
Nice and high on the bank is D-Mac transitioning into the first clipping point. Tyler McQuarry is right there. I would be biting my fingernails if I'm Daijiro Yoshihara. Oh, and Darren McNamara hits the wall. Whoa, oh my gosh.
D-Mac taps the wall as Tyler McQuarry applies some more pressure. Some are saying this is the last battle ever in a Falcon Tires vehicle for Tyler McQuarry as they round that last front clip. Unbelievable night, Ryan.
And Tyler McQuarry was all over Darren McNamara pretty much the entire run. Darren McNamara super quick out front, but Tyler McQuarry right there digging deep down. You can see Darren McNamara making a critical error, hitting the wall, puts him offline, and here we go.
Tyler McQuarry gets the win, which officially makes Daijiro Yoshihara your 2011 Formula Drift champion. Check out the celebration by him and his team as he's raised atop their shoulders. Congratulations to Daijiro Yoshihara.
The Formula Drift Championship is brought to you by NOS, the official energy drink of Formula Drift, Falcon Tire, Hankook Tire, and by Need for Speed's new blockbuster, The Run.
Welcome back, Formula Drift fans. We've officially crowned a 2011 Formula Drift champion in Dai Yoshihara. But don't go anywhere. We'll have a winner here tonight. And right now, we've staged third place. Chris the Force Forsberg versus Darren McNamara.
Well, this is third place not only for the event, but also for the championship. Forsberg's been chasing this down all year, and he has a chance to get into third place and knock Darren McNamara out.
Chris Forsberg's going to lead. D-Mac is going to give chase. These guys are going to do a battle here right now.
And look at Darren McNamara already right out of the gate, 79.5 miles per hour is Chris Forsberg. But McNamara, look at the proximity and the angle. Nice job by D-Mac.
Both these guys let it all hang out. Great transition by Forsberg and D-Mac as they enter that inner bank.
So close as Darren McNamara. Forsberg goes a little bit wide now, cutting in right there. Looks like, oh, there's some contact right there. And Chris Forsberg hits the inside clip.
Yard sale all over the track as Forsberg just shattered his front bumper on that front clip. Let's take a look at the replay, Ryan.
So nice job on the bank is Chris Forsberg, but you can see right here a little bit of contact by Darren McNamara in the rear. Forces Forsberg into the barricades, so that's got to be a huge disadvantage for Darren McNamara.
A lot of bit of contact is more like it as Darren McNamara, you know he's one of the most aggressive drivers in the biz, and now a huge separation, 77.6 miles per hour.
And look at this, Forsberg is way behind. You have to wonder if maybe he should have spent more time looking at the car, and now Forsberg transitioning back around. Uh-oh. Into the wall goes Chris Forsberg and Darren McNamara.
Chris Forsberg, uncharacteristic, goes into that first wall, and then watch, as Darren McNamara passes him, he hits the wall as well. Unrelated incidents. Ryan, unbelievable.
How this is going to be judged, I have no idea, but that was two separate incidents with Darren McNamara at fault. And look at this, Jared.
Chris Forsberg gets the win and third place here tonight. You have to think that the second run was just a wash because of unrelated incidents, and Darren McNamara hitting Forsberg gets him the win. So our first place battle is right now. Tyler the Rock McQuarry versus Reese Madskills Millan. McQuarry just looks hungry. Millan looks smooth. Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely. Reese Millan has been on fire, but so is Tyler McQuarry. Look at this right out of the gate, almost touching as we come into the first corner.
Tyler McQuarry has so much to prove, and Reese Madskills Millan, some call him the oldest kid on the block here. 77.6 miles per hour. Great initiation by both drivers.
So far, so good in the battle. Nice proximity between Reese Millan and Tyler McQuarry, transitioning on the inside bank. Reese Millan right there. Oh, and now Reese Millan hits the wall. What is going on? Tyler McQuarry running away with it, and a huge mistake by Reese Millan.
Did somebody throw banana peels out there? Because it is just bananas here on track as Tyler McQuarry initiated into the bank and in the lower bank. Reese Millan hits the wall and takes himself out. Ryan, history is being made here tonight at the House of Drift.
Here we go. Reese Millan will take the lead at a huge disadvantage. Tyler McQuarry must have it in the bag unless a huge mistake is made by Reese Millan, but here we go, 79.9 miles per hour.
Millan knows he needs to let it all hang out in that Hyundai Genesis coupe. As Tyler McQuarry, this is the swan song for him. He'd love to end out on top. Millan throwing it in, nice on the rear clip.
Here we go, coming onto the inside part of the bank, transitioning into the extension. Tyler McQuarry is less than 10 seconds away to a possible win here at the finale at Irwindale Speedway.
Reese Millan smoking them out, but too little too late as they cross the finish line. Do we have a winner? Let's go to the judge, but first, take a look at the replay. Oh, look at Millan.
Oh. Little 360 right there by Reese Millan at the end, but he's got to know that he's at a huge disadvantage against Tyler McQuarry. He hits the wall in the first run, does pretty good job in the lead run, but now it's all up to the judges. Here we go.
And Tyler McQuarry gets first place, and along the way, helping Dai Yoshihara regain that 2011 Formula Drift Championship. Tyler McQuarry in first, Reese Matskills Millan in second, and Chris Forsberg in third. The happiest man here tonight is Dai Yoshihara, your new champion, and also your Tires.com Triple Crown champion.
Tyler, an unbelievable battle there in the Final Four, taking on Darren McNamara, knowing that if you beat him, that Daijiro Yoshihara was going to win the championship. Did that cross your mind at all?
I actually had no idea that happened, and then they came over the radio and said he won the championship, so stoked I could help him out.
And obviously, it's a big win for you to finish off the season. Well, it's a well-deserved win for Tyler. Let's head over to Jared DeAndo, who's with our champion, Daijiro Yoshihara.
From start to finish, Long Beach to here in Irwindale, you've had a crazy season, man.
Yeah, I had a crazy season. Up and down, but in the end, I'm here and winning the championship. Thanks to my team, Falcon Tire, Discount Tire, Speedy Metalworks. They did a great job giving me the great car through the season. And you know, last round today, I didn't do well. Actually, I got knocked out, top 16. So I thought I lost the championship. But it fell back into my hand again. So, you know, I was lucky, but at the same time, I got championship anyway, so.
Well, it's been 8 years in the making. You couldn't have written a better story for Dai Yoshihara, and that is a wrap on our 2011 Formula Drift Championship. We'll see you next year.